Back from the dead.
Welcome to the party, pal. You're from the neighborhood Master Chaos here with Brother Chaos. We're driving off to have some movie-related adventure. I thought I'd take this moment to film a little road chat conversation. The discussion at hand, and feel free to join in the chat or in the comments down below, is modern horror movies. Now, I'm not a big modern horror movie fan. Call me an old dinosaur, but I prefer older films. I think I've always preferred older films. Obviously, I grew up in the 80s, and so did Brother Chaos. Brother Chaos, chime in. What do you think about modern horror movies?
I wouldn't say they're necessarily lesser quality than the older stuff, but like Master Chaos was saying, I grew up in the 80s as well, and so I like the older stuff a lot better. Yeah, I like the fact that it uses practical effects for the creatures and the gore instead of CGI. That's one thing that I like practical effects better. The stories were much more original. Now everything seems like a reimagination of something that has been already done. Right. So there was a lot of original content. So that's a little bit about and why I like the older stuff better.
And you mentioned quality. That's a good point. I feel, honestly, movies nowadays are better quality. I think the effects look better. I think the budgets are bigger. I think there's more effort and money put into modern horror movies. However, I don't know if the love is there, and I don't know if the care is there. And I think that's what's lacking from a lot of modern horror movies.
I like the obscure stuff and the stuff that's just so goofy that people don't necessarily take seriously. Right. Like, for example, two of them that I do not like were the Nicolas Cage Wonderland, and I just, my friend was telling me about my cousin watch it. I'm like, Willy's Wonderland, Oh,
Willy's Wonderland, yeah.
And I'm like, nah, that doesn't call my attention. And
Terrible.
And then Mandy, another one that Nicolas Cage made. I'm like, no. But then there's stuff called Carousel. Yeah. And I saw the poster and the title, and I'm like, I'd watch that. And that's a modern movie that I'd watch just because I want a good laugh. Right. But the ones that are like, what's the one part 3 that just came out of the Upside Down Crucifix?
Oh, Conjuring?
The Conjuring, I'm like, I could wait until that's on a streaming channel. I'll watch that streaming. I don't necessarily need to pay for it or buy the Blu-ray. Yeah. Oh, one quick thing, and we could talk about this real quick. I liked the Child's Play remake.
Oh my God!
Not loved it. I gave it.
Oh my God!
3.5 stars.
Why?
Because it was fun. I like the fact. Well, this is not a spoiler because this happens literally in the first 10 minutes. Okay. I like the fact that it was a disgruntled worker that got fired, and he took out his hate by switching the protocol on the operating system of the doll, and then committing suicide. I think that was cool. They didn't use the original one, which was a serial killer. Movie, right. Yeah, we all know the original story. So I liked it. I just liked it. Sometimes I like things, and Master Chaos gets into we get into fist fights over it.
Cinematic fist fights.
Fist fights. But I like the Child's Play remake. Wow. You guys chime in the comments. I want to see if anybody. I didn't love it. I'm not gonna buy it. But I saw it on Hulu, and I said,
Wow.
So, yeah.
Jesus Christ. This conversation is over. And that to me, that's the worst. That's the number one example why modern horror sucks, because it's all ripoffs and it's no new ideas, and they try to reinvent the wheel, and they reinvent it in a stupid way. The jury's still out as to whether the David Gordon Green Halloween is gonna make a big impression. Obviously, Halloween Kills divided a lot of people. What did you think of Halloween Kills?
I thought it was just okay.
Yeah.
It had good kills in it, which is what they were promoting.
Right.
But
that's all it was.
Story-wise, there wasn't anything too much or new. Nothing new. Nothing really powerful in it, in the story.
It was very much a middle movie, and it didn't. I don't know. For me, I mean, maybe in retrospect, with Halloween Ends, it'll all work together. Again, like I said, it remains to be seen whether that's going to make an impact. But modern horror, I mean, I think it's different for like my kids growing up nowadays. They'll have a different interpretation. You know, Marvel's going to be a big deal for them. Marvel doesn't really make an impact in my life. I know not in yours, right?
No, I'm not a superhero fan.
Yeah.
I mean, they're fine, but you know, this is weird though. I like the DC animated comic book movies.
Okay, sure.
I have a collection of them, and those are well made. Sometimes even better than the live action stuff.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of those. Those are pretty decent.
Yeah.
And maybe that's just because we grew up with those cartoons, you know, like Batman animated series.
I like the original Batman. Like you can't beat the Michael Keaton Batman.
Yeah,
that was good.
You know, he's coming back.
Yeah, I did hear that.
Pretty amazing.
That's gonna be fantastic.
Yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed it is. Yes.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Like we're talking modern horror movies now, right?
Yeah.
So what did you think? I think you like this one. What did you think of the Evil Dead remake? I know that came out back in 2013.
I don't know.
It was a while back.
Yeah.
But that's considered a modern.
It is.
Horror.
It is.
I liked it.
You liked it?
The Evil Dead remake.
I didn't like it. I've only seen it once.
You didn't like it?
I didn't like it.
It was brutal. It had a lot of violence and it was visceral.
Yeah, but see, brutal killings, that doesn't do anything for me. For me, as a writer, for me, it's all about the story. Number one, what the fuck is your plot? Who are your characters? Then let shit happen. That's all I care about. And I didn't care about those characters, and also the fact that it was a remake and it was very different. Honestly, maybe rewatching it, I will enjoy it more. But my first impression was it didn't blow me away.
Yeah, that's funny, Master Chaos. I was thinking maybe me rewatching it, I might like it less.
Possible.
This is one that I know you do like. You like the Friday the 13th remake.
Yeah.
Right.
I thought that was good because that was exactly what you wanted. Jason killing people in the woods.
There we agree. I like that one. I like the Friday the 13th remake. I like how he's smart, how he's more stronger. He's like built.
Yeah.
And he's smart. He has the underground tunnels where he hides and everything.
And they combined part 1, 2, and 3.
Yes.
Genius. Great. That's a great idea for a remake.
I like
Friday the 13th. I'm sorry, the Jason. God damn it. Nightmare on Elm Street. I was thinking Freddy and it tripped me up. Nightmare on Elm Street was a shit remake. That was bad.
I'm gonna keep quiet on that one.
You like that one too?
I do.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's fine. You're entitled to your bad taste. Nothing wrong with that.
Taste is relative, so.
It is. It really is.
You say you love us just the way we are.
I love you just the way you are, but you still have bad taste in remakes.
Taste is subjective.
It is. It really is. But again, that's sort of indicative of what modern horror has become. It's all a hodgepodge of what the 80s used to be, or trying to recapture that.
Yeah.
Trying to recapture that era, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I love how there's so many movies out there. When we're talking about the modern movies, and Master Chaos loves one. Sometimes he hates them. Sometimes he loves them. Sometimes he hates them. And I'm going through the same thing. And we twist and turn. And the ones we disagree on, you know. But at the end of the day, we're still cool pals. And
I mean, it doesn't matter what what someone likes and someone hates. It's obviously it's all personal taste. As a filmmaker, I know it's art, and your personal interpretation changes how you view a movie, how you interpret a movie. You're right. You could love something one time, then watch it a second time and hate it. Like what happened for me with Devil's Story, which is not a new movie, but.
Yeah.
Similar case.
Send your movie.
Yeah. Awful. But I mean, there are some interesting new horror movies out there that are that I guess are being bandied about. I don't know if you're a big A24 fan, like Hereditary and that kind of stuff.
I've seen them. I was gonna say that the new independent horror movies are sometimes much better than the new big Hollywood ones. I would say, for example, I liked It Follows. I liked Babadook, and I liked I'm blanking. What's the third one? I can't recall. When it comes to my mind, I mention it. But It Follows and Babadook, I liked a lot.
Yeah.
Did you like those?
Yeah.
Fun.
No, they were good, but I don't know that I don't find myself rewatching a lot of modern horror movies. You know, it doesn't grab me. I mean, there's stuff that, like, recent stuff that I think I really liked. Happy Death Day. I love the Happy Death Day movies a lot.
You gotta show me one of those. I haven't seen those.
Those are really good, actually. Those are very, very good. I even enjoyed the second one, which is kind of a departure, but it's really good. I really liked Ready or Not. I thought that was a really solid film. So there's some really good stuff out there, but for me, it's few and far between when it comes to the modern horror movies. Yeah. And even if they're good, they don't have a lasting impression in terms of, like, oh, I'm gonna rewatch this, whatever, every Halloween or whatever. I tend to, and I think you'll agree with me, because you want to watch shit like Carousel, yeah.
That's cheesy. I'm attracted to the underdog, to the cheap stuff.
The trash. The trash cinema. And the modern horror doesn't feel necessarily trashy.
Exactly. Yes. There you go, buddy.
I think we've boiled it down. I think we've boiled it down to its essence of what modern horror versus older horror is. At least for our age group, you know, people in their 40s.
In their 40s, yeah.
What would you say, if you had to pick, would be your favorite decade for movies?
Oh, you already know the answer to that, and we were spoken about it. It's the 70s.
Okay.
Because they were grimy, and there was lots of
questionable material.
Lots of experimentation with what the limits could do in horror and exploitation cinema.
Sure.
And lots of experimentation by different directors trying to see what could be put on film and get away with it.
Yeah.
And what could make money.
Sure.
You know? So I like all of the crazy stuff that came out of that. So that's my decade.
That makes sense. I'm an 80s guy. I love 80s movies of all kind, monster movies, slasher movies. I feel the 80s is when cinema really hit its peak, and it understood its audience, and it understood the marketplace. And for me, I think the 80s is like the perfect decade for movies. Oh, we got some cop action happening over here. It's on the other lane, so we're good. Wow.
The 80s were good. I like the 80s, but
yeah,
there's something special about the 70s where everyone was trying to experiment with on the fringes of exploitation.
Sure.
So many different types of stuff came out, and even pre-70s with the Herschel Gordon Lewis stuff.
Yeah.
That was late 60s, right? Chaos?
I believe so. I'm bad with years and things like that, so I don't know numbers.
Herschel Gordon Lewis, man, when he invented the gore film, that was something seminal.
Revolutionary, yeah. Well, yeah, I agree. 60s and 70s were the experimental phase when cinema definitely took a leap, out of the the realm of the 50s cheeseball kind of, which I love. I love the 50s. That's actually my second favorite decade because I love those movies. But modern horror, honestly, we cannot really say what's going to happen until maybe we're 10, 20 years away from this current era. Yeah. And then we'll know what lasted. Did the Conjuring movies last?
Exactly. Did they last?
Is it something people talk about? I never know.
I rewatched the first Conjuring movie not too long ago in my house. There was a little bit before Halloween. I said, I feel like watching this again. So I saw it, and I liked it, but not as much as the first time I saw it. So
yeah,
it's a solid movie, but it went down. I think it went a star down. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know. And again, as an example, Poltergeist is something I could watch over and over again.
Oh yes.
Yes. So I don't know what it is. Is it because it's modern? Is it because there's something tired about it and something more exciting about Poltergeist? Again, it remains to be seen. We do have to at least give it 10, 20 years before we can judge these movies.
There's a couple of movies that I could definitely rewatch again anytime. I know one of yours is Scream and Jaws. You mentioned them, your love for them, your undying love for them and devotion for them many times. For me, Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer any day. I could just pop it in and watch it.
There you go.
And enjoy it. Another one is Last House on the Left, Wes Craven original.
Oh wow, okay.
I could watch that anytime.
Interesting.
Because remember, the 70s.
Yeah.
That's the era. Now, a little bit less sleazy, but with lots of gore is Deep Red, Dario Argento's Deep Red.
Oh sure, yeah.
That one I have on DVD, then I got on special edition DVD, then I got the Blu-ray, and now recently, thanks to Diabolic DVD, I got an Arrow video.
Right.
I got the 4K.
Yeah, nice.
And
that's gonna look good.
Yeah, it does look good. It does look good. Name a foreign older movie that you could watch again and again, because Jaws and Scream are American? Domestic American movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about Godzilla? Would you say that?
No.
One?
No, I'm not. I'm actually not a big kaiju fan. I've discovered I get kind of bored by those movies. I don't know. I'd have to think about that. Maybe that's a conversation for another time. We'll have another road chat and we'll talk about foreign horror.
Foreign horror, yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. You could talk a lot about that.
That's what we'll do then. Stay tuned for the next card chat with Brother Chaos. Until then, thank you for joining us for this little chat in the car. Leave your comments down below as what your thoughts on modern horror. Okay, my friends, we're going to sign off for now. Take care. I've got to pay attention to the road. So until we meet again, signing off.